Okay, I'm back again. I'm going to do another video. This is going to be a pro wrestling video, so anyone expecting an MMA video, it's not going to be the case. I'll probably do one later on after the Strikeforce card, and I'll talk about that and my thoughts on that maybe. This is going to be a video, and I think it's going to be a two-part video, because I don't have a bloody partnership fucking YouTube. Sorry. I love YouTube, really. I mean, I don't. This is going to be a two-part video because what I want to talk about might take longer than 10 minutes to do the topic justice and to fully get my points across. So what I want to talk about is something to do with the WWE and even to an extent TNA, but really this really applies to the WWE. For the last year and a bit, the one thing that everyone seems to be saying right now is that the WWE need to create new stars. They need new faces at the top. They need new main eventers. They need new stars. It's getting stagnant at the top. People are tired of seeing Hunter versus Orton all the time. People are tired of seeing Cena and Orton, the same thing over and over and over again. People want something fresh. And I agree that at the top of the card, it's very much like that. But also in the middle and in the undercard, it's stagnant too. It's just something missing. And when you create new stars, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have main event wrestlers wrestling for the world title all the time. You can have new stars outside of that picture, in the roles of a Roddy Piper, or in the roles of a tag team division, or even a cruiserweight division. And that's what I want to talk about actually right now, is the cruiserweight division. And in a lot of ways, some of the points can apply to the others, like the tag teams and the women's divisions. I was watching some old WCW Nitros in the mid-90s, the early 90s, when the cruiserweight division was introduced to American fans, so to speak. And watching it, you can see why why the cruiserweight division played a part in the success that WCW had when it was beating Raw in the ratings. Because on the one hand, you had that cool angle with the NWO, which eventually bombed, but you had that angle and you had the momentum that the New World Order gave you, so that was bringing in that kind of audience from the WWF. But then you also had the smart audience who were watching the cruiserweights, the cruiserweight division, and it was really unique and dynamic, especially at that time, because you only had a few guys in America who could wrestle that kind of style. And now Eric Bischoff had done the smart thing of accumulating all this talent, putting them on WCW, and then just letting them go, letting them be the car crash before the explosion, as Chris Jericho said in his book. And I really felt that back then WCW were onto something, and it was one of the things that got me really interested into professional wrestling again, because I kind of got bored of it for a while. The cruiserweight division, just these dynamic, unique styles that you've never seen before, and that are very different to what we see outside of what we are used to seeing, and it would really catch your attention. And it had its glory years between 96 to 1998, and around 98 it got stagnant. But it was very special, and I always felt that they could have done even more with it, like a lot more with the cruiserweight division. They could have made it on par with the almost. I'm not saying it would be more important, but like when it's an important part of the show, and then it kind of suffered a bit when in the 90s, in the late 90s, after the Russo regime came in. It seemed like they just didn't have a clue what to do with that division. It seems like a very familiar tale right now with the X division, but it seems like they just didn't know what to do. And they tried all kinds of wacky and crazy ideas, and then the cruiserweight division just lost its importance around that time. I remember they put the belt on Medusa, they put the belt on Oklahoma, they put the belt on Prince Iaukea, and the ideas it just didn't work. And for a long time, the cruiserweight division around that 2000 and the year 2000 era, it was stagnant. And then things changed around towards the end of 2000, towards the end of the year 2000, early 2001, and there was emphasis in the cruiserweight division again. They even brought a cruiserweight tag team title into the mix, and this was a tremendous way of pushing and making new talents. And hold on just a second.